the market was concerned. Our pivot this morning is 40.38. 40.38. Our resistance at 45, 52, 58, and 64. Support below at 31, 25, 18, and 10. Our pivot again is 40.38. Support at 31, 25, 18, and 10. Resistance on the upside at 45, 52, 58, and 64. Welcome some of the new folks that are here. We are trading mini S&Ps. We are using our levels here as a guide to the day. It doesn't mean that these things are etched in stone. They are just a guide for the day, and we can adjust them. We can add to them. We also use price action opportunities in addition to the levels to give us opportunities to trade. Between the price action opportunities and the levels that we give out, give us our setups for the opportunities to trade today. So, and those are the levels that we gave out. If you look at the chat box area, if you bring that up, that's where you can ask me questions as well. There are the levels printed out for you. And again, they're a guide. We don't believe the markets go straight up or straight down. Consequently, we're looking for opportunities to scalp the market against the levels that we give out. Plus, like I said, price action opportunities. And a combination of both gives us a methodology to trade, at least a guide for us to trade during the course of a day. That's what we're here to do. We do this on an everyday basis. And obviously when the markets are open. We used to do this from the Florida Exchange, but due to COVID and all the ramifications around it, we are basically just hovered down in our basement, but it hasn't really taken away from the ability to trade. And that still maintains because many S&Ps always traded on the screen. They never traded just in the pit. The big S&P contract traded on the floor, the 500. So that's where we're at. Again, if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask. Put them in the chat box area. We like questions. We appreciate questions. At least it gives me an idea of your interests, plus also try to understand what we're trying to do here. So I like to try to clarify as much as possible. So you have to understand that we're here. Like I said, this is a little trading room that we have. Our trading room here is, we have a lot of nice, good traders in here who are adding to the day's trade. We also are looking for not everything all the levels are perfect, and everybody has different ideas and different ways of trading. Everybody has different risk tolerances. I opened up this trading room so we can share ideas and concepts together and give us an opportunity to make some money. I came from the Florida Exchange, as some of you know, and I've been trading for quite a while, in case some of you don't know what I've been doing here for a bit. So that's what we're trying to do here, trying to scalp the market. As we come quickly up here to our 45 area. Again, just be careful. These are all-time highs, so none of these things, are etched in stone. Keep your stop in there. We don't have any preconceived notion that these things are going to be perfect or not, because we're up here and never tested these areas before. So keep your focus in the fact that we are trading all-time highs. So just keep your stop in. Again, like I said, 2 to 3 points, and just let them. If this is too much, if you don't like trading all-time highs, then wait for the markets to kind of rotate back and get some other opportunities. that's fine too. I mean, everybody's trades a little bit differently. There's no reason here to have to trade if you don't appreciate trading these all-time highs, which could be a little bit tough to read sometimes. Honestly, they are not easy because of the fact that there's no resistance, so you don't know what you're testing up here. So I get it, but all I try to do here is try to explain the risk, and once we explain the risk, then we can trade around it. And then you have to decide whether you want to take the risk opportunities yourself. My job here is to make sure I explain risk to you, and then consequently after that, you are trying to manage that risk. That's one thing that we were trying to do here more than anything else, is to show you the risk, and then hopefully you can manage the risk and trade according to your risk tolerances, because everybody's got different risk tolerances. That's for sure. Not one person trades the same way. As long as we understand that, we can trade around it. So what I try to do here is we try to work with these individuals to explain your risk tolerances, tell you what the risk is involved in some of these trades, and then you have to make decisions on your own whether you should take those opportunities or not. As the market slowly inches up here, again, like I said, none of these levels it's kind of hard to determine what support and resistance is up here, only because of the fact that it is new all-time highs. Market is very, very strong. They obviously like the number on Friday, which again was the unemployment number. And the unemployment number was, a lot better. Well, it wasn't better. It was on the what was on the high side, the expectation on the high side. Because remember, I said it was a range between plus 650 and plus a million, and it came out to 900 and like I said, between 10 and 15 million. So it was a nice number, definitely that the market appreciated. And constantly. So we're trading this 45 area. If you don't like the way it's trading, it's giving you a chance here to scratch some of it. If you have multiple contracts, or if you're going to keep it or try to make a nice rotation. Again, we have a 2 to 3 point stop. That's what our target is for profit. And again, if you don't like the way it traded against that level, it's giving you a chance here to get out of some for a little bit of a profit. You don't have to always, take 2 points if you don't like it. If you don't like the way it trades, it's definitely giving you a chance here to get out of some and make a little bit. There's 3 things that could happen in a trade, right? 2 of them are good. You can make money, which is a good thing. You can lose money, which is a bad thing. But also you can scratch some trades if you don't like the price action of how it's traded around the level. And again, I will emphasize that these are all-time highs, so it kind of does its own thing sometimes when it gets up here. So we don't have a great confidence in them like we would if we were trading in the middle of an area. But it is a level, so we are working it, and it's giving you a chance here to work the level. All right, let's see. You can, if you're interested in picking up a Hummer, that SUV from General Motors, which they discontinued because it was a gas guzzler for a while there, but they're coming back now with the EV edition, and it's a cool $110,000. In case somebody, maybe Don there, pick one up for us. Let us all try it every time we go down to the farm. I'm sure he could use one down there. 110, couple trades for Don. So the Hummer is on sale for $110,000. In case we're going EV these days. We have to be talking about that as we're nicely turning over here a little against our 05 and finally giving us teasing us with our 2 points. Do funds buy these? Do funds buy? You mean BUY? Yes. Yes, they do. And they do for a simple reason, because the funds kind of, especially like the last day of the quarter, which was last week, all right, we got our 2 points here on this rotation against our 45. We teased this up there at 47, right? 46.75. All right, Abraham, no problem. All right, so we got a nice rotation there. If you kept the 2 point stop, we did fine with it. And now we're coming back. Yeah, I mean, they, when they have their portfolios, they just have to have S&Ps on there. Sometimes they don't even tell you what price they paid. They just tell you S&Ps. So yeah, they do. I mean, they also don't want to miss the rotation higher, right? I mean, you're trading at 40, 45. So, they don't want to be left alone and not having any S&Ps on. So yes, everybody, you can't get up here unless they're buying. What is the VIX right now? $17 handle. It's getting tighter and tighter, but patience is important when it gets up to these levels. All right, so we had a nice rotation there against our level up there. Can we put the levels up in the chat box area one more time for us? And those are levels that we have. There they are. You mean the VIX HD? Yeah, the 17 handle on the VIX. It's been a year since we've been at the 17 handle, but then again, it makes sense. We're making new highs, so does make sense. We do have a number coming out here at 9 o'clock. We have ISM services and and then factory orders. Both of those are coming out here at 9 o'clock, and there is an 8:45 number. PMI number. It's a final number. Is coming out here in about 2 minutes or so. Since it's a final number, shouldn't be a market mover, but you never know. All right, so a nice little trade there against our 45 area. Again, teased us really close. Again, they got up to 46.75, but did not stop us out there. If you got a 2 point stop, and then came all the way back down and traded down at 43. So nice little trade there for us if you trading with us, and if you weren't, it's all right. Not a problem. All right, now we're just kind of hanging up here. Did the ES only trade 100,000 overnight? Probably, yeah. Yeah, it's very, very light trade overnight. It's very light trade so far, right? I mean, you have a lot of people also, this was a holiday weekend, so, a lot of people were away, and a lot of people probably celebrating Easter with their family, and some of the traders probably did not turn on their computers overnight. So, even though the old adage, money never sleeps, right? But money, I guess this time, money takes a vacation. Yeah, it was very, very light. But this is what happens. This is not surprising for rally markets that the volume gets shrunk down, and that's why the volatility index is so low also, because the volatility index is based on volume as well. And that's what happens when, it's a lack of volatility is a direct relation to the lack of volume. So that makes sense, if you really think about it. All right, we do have a small number coming out here at 9 o'clock. This PMI number is a final. It comes out in 3 segments. It's a final segment of it, so it shouldn't be too much of a market mover. As you can tell by the order book here, they didn't really lighten up too much. So I don't expect much movement here, but I had to tell you about it anyway. And so let that come out, and then we'll see what happens here with the 9 o'clock number. And we're trading right around our 45 area. 9 o'clock number, ISM services. There could be a little bit market mover, factory orders, not so much so, but we'll see what happens when those come out here at the top of the hour. So, Don, we all want you to buy the Hummer. So, you can get a lot of our visitors come out down to your farm and drive around it. It'd be a little big for you, but you're on a farm. No, there's no car too big for you. And I can honestly say I can see Sophia driving in one of these things in about a few years from now. The perfect timing for her to ask, Daddy, can I get a EV Hummer, please? You can see that happening. Good news for the movie industry. It's finally arrived. You know how I feel. All right, continuation rally here. It's 52, top next level above. We talked about the dominating bar last week, getting had to close above 39.70. That was a dominating bar from one day last week. I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday. We tried to close above it one day, and the next day we did, and then consequently we've had this big rally here over the next few days. So that still holds. Yeah, there is a big order there at the 50 area, which does make a little bit of sense if you're going to trade around it. Sometimes those 50 areas, like I said, it's just like a psychological point, just like the 4,000 was. So there's a big order there. Somebody noticed a big 1,000 lot order up at the 50 area, but as you could tell, they could take it out really fast. That's Don Norton. Now Don's looking for 39 right now, I'll be honest with you. He could be averaging out a little. Maybe that's true. So the movie industry is coming back in. The film Godzilla versus King Kong gave a shot in the arm for theaters in Hollywood. The film from Warner Brothers and Legendary Entertainment generated 32 million over the Easter weekend and garnered 48 million in the United States and Canada during the first 5 days of release. A monstrous debut was also seen abroad, where the movie added an additional 71.6 million to the box office haul. Since opening last week internationally, the film has tallied 285 million. For anyone who may have doubted the pent-up demand for moviegoing, this performance is yet another sign of just how resilient the theater industry can be. Not only did Godzilla post the best pandemic opening numbers since March of 2020, but the title opened in more than 3,000 theaters in North America over the weekend, the most of any movie during the pandemic. More than 90% of U.S. cinemas have so far reopened, according to Warner Brothers, though they are operating at a reduced capacity to meet social distancing guidelines. All right, there, Mark. Mark C. And next level of resistance we have is we got 52. Somebody noted that there's a big 1,000 lot at the 50 area. And again, we're pushing up these new highs, so it's harder to get excited about anything. All right. Again, number coming out here in about 7 minutes. We don't like to trade numbers. It's not what we like to do. We like to kind of let the number come out and then trade whatever after effect it might have. The market continues to push up to these new highs. Be very careful up here. Keep your stop in. None of these numbers are, they're not etched in stone. They are just levels that you came up with, different variations, different ways. But again, these are all-time highs, so there's nothing here that says these things will work. You just have to make sure you keep your stop in there and try to scalp the market, and if it gives us a chance. As it continues to uptick at 52 levels, the next level of resistance that we have. Investors are digesting's March non-farm payrolls report a bit late as markets were closed at the end of the week on Good Friday, for Good Friday. The strong bounce in U.S. growth, the jobs growth compounded with the accelerating vaccine rollout has given traders renewed enthusiasm. After the S&P's topped the 4,000 milestone for the first time on Thursday, overnight the index rose another 5% and continues to rally this morning. By the numbers, the non-farm payrolls report smashed expectations, with the U.S. adding 916,000 jobs in March, the highest since August of 2020. Growth was led by gains in leisure and hospitality, public and private education, and construction, while the unemployment rate fell to 6% from 6.2%. The helping boost in sentiment is expected stimulus from a coming infrastructure proposal, as well as the current pandemic picture. The U.S. reported another daily record of new COVID vaccines on Saturday, pushing the weekly average of new shots per day to over 3 million. The number that they came up with was what they came up. They're doing like 4 million a day now. The average is 3 million. Other data this morning is expected to show a rebound in U.S. services sector. The ISM Services Index which will be released in 4 minutes, will likely display activity accelerating in U.S. industries hardest hit by the shutdown and stay-at-home orders. The services recovery has so far lagged behind manufacturing, and investors will be watching the figure to gauge the start of a broader economic revival. So there you have it. Look out for this number here coming out at about 3.5 minutes or so. So that's what it's telling you. Be a little bit careful trading these numbers. They're expecting a good number. Who knows? WTI, the futures slipped 2%, pairing the big gains made in the previous session after OPEC agreed to gradual raise in production from May through July. All right. So that was a very good number. It's on the heels of this number that we continue to push up here, and now we have another number coming out here. It's services number. It's coming out here in about a couple minutes. So be a little bit careful if you're going to be trading up here. President Biden's second major legislative initiative so far looks unlikely to draw more bipartisan support than his first $1.9 trillion COVID-19 relief package. Republicans are taking aim at the $2 trillion infrastructure plan released last week, and Senator Roy Blunt urging the administration to significantly scale down the project if Biden wants GOP support. If we go back and look at the roads and bridges and ports and airports and maybe even underground water systems and broadband, you'd still be talking about less than 30% of the entire package, he said on Fox. Senator McConnell also vowed to fight the scheme at every step of the way, saying the proposal will increase debt and raise taxes. Okay. It may not matter. Over the weekend, Energy Secretary Jennifer Granholm said Biden is willing to push through American Jobs Plan. He would prefer to have GOP backing, as she told CNN's State of the Union. But if it does not work, he would likely support using the reconciliation to allow Democrats to pass it in the Senate. The White House is also planning a second proposal in the coming weeks to address the so-called social infrastructure, including childcare, health care, college tuition, which would be paid for by tax increases on the wealthy and on corporate taxes, with corporate taxes as well, as we are pushing up here against the at 50 area that has a big 1,000-lot order in there, holding the market down just a little. Remember, we have a number coming out here in about a minute, so be a little bit careful if you're going to trade the 52 area. the infrastructure initiative, as well as the measures it contains to curb climate change, net zero emissions by 2050, may be the next tailwind for ESG funds. ESG. Don't know what that means. Investment already captured 51.1 million in new money from investors in 2020, making their fifth consecutive annual record, according to Morningstar. Probably means some green fund. All right, so there you have it. Everything's you got more money coming out of Washington, creating a little push, and there's the number that comes out. You can always tell a number came out there with a little extra. I also see the lighter levels. You know, there's only 100 lots there. There were 200 lots up there, and you could tell it was inching. It really wanted to go up there, but you could see how a lot traded right around that 50 area, even though they were showing 1,000, like 5,000 traded at that level, even though they only showed 1,000, and you're getting this little push here off of that. Got up to 51 there. If you did get in there at 51, nice little trade. Again, you could have put it just above that level too. You know, if you're a little aggressive there, you could have maybe put it just above the level, because that's what happens sometimes. They take it out, and then it inches up a little, and then comes flying down because they didn't follow through, which is exactly what happened there. All right, but obviously, you know, they're taking out. So the action here is that they're taking a little bit of profit. That's what they're doing. They got up to the 50s. Somebody sold it up there. Somebody's obviously, you know, had a bunch to sell. Oh, he's got another 2,000 lot that he's just snuck in there. You see that? I don't know if that's for show or if that's actually going to, that he wants it. We'll see. But he's stuck in another 2,000 lot. He's there so far. We'll see if it gets close. Did they take it out or not? But you can tell that they did have a lot traded up there. Yeah, well, he's there. That 2,000 lot is still there. So I obviously want it. Right? Well, this time he's got, whoever it is he's got a package to sell up there. Nothing wrong with that. At least he's showing it. That's a good thing. 52, still a good level. See what I want to do up there. Somebody's taking him out too. Pretty amazing. And he's bringing some more on. Wow. You don't see this too often, by the way. That's pretty amazing. That's a lot of stuff that somebody's unloading all in one spot. Yeah, but they are doing it, and he's keeping it in there. Like I said, there's different ways of showing it, and he's showing it. He doesn't care. And now he took it off. Well, we got back in. Don says he's looking for 39 also. So now we have a little battle here between the bulls and the bears. Sure, they do. When the market gaps, right? When they gap up and down by 4 or 5 ticks, that's a market order that they're actually trying to sell 1,000 lot, and it gaps because they're selling everything above or below it, depending on if they're buying or selling. So yeah, they do have market orders, and that's when you get the volatility and the market gaps a lot. When you ask me, when you see a market gap and you don't know when it goes really fast and you have no idea what happened, that's what happened. Somebody wanted to sell like 1,000 lot, and if you want to sell 1,000 lot, and if you put it, let's say it's trading at 50 right now, if you put 1,000 down at 48, it'll sell everything from 50 down to 48 to fill your 1,000. Right? So that's how it gets filled, and that's why you get their gap. So they will take out the 50, the quarter, the 49 until until it's all filled. So that's why when you see the market gapping, that's how you have a market order that gaps. And when the markets were really crazy in those days, when they were really moving like crazy, there was a lot of gapping going on. That's because there were a lot of market orders that were being placed above and below the market. And the volume was huge, remember? That's because that was going on the whole time. So we got a little bulls and bear action here between this, 50 area. Obviously, somebody is working it. All right, he's obviously somebody had a little nice big order to sell up there, and trying to see who's going to win. I mean, you could be on his side, right? I mean, you could be on Don's side, or you could do both. You could do this 50 area and above. It's one of those things where you can use it since it's showing it to us and jump on board. Or if it's too risky for you, you could just wait. But, you could join this guy's bandwagon. But, again, it's kind of upticking here a little bit, but you had to do it before, obviously. It did downtick all the way down to 48 if you were trading with it, if you were watching it. Or if you used him, since he is there. I mean, they don't usually do that. They don't actually show you, but today they did. Somebody's taking a stand. Now, is he getting out of longs or is he getting short? Or maybe doing both. We don't know. Well, somebody's getting long up here, right? Remember, it's most of it is a zero-sum game, right? So somebody's getting short, somebody's getting long. As we continue to uptick here, coming up here to the 52 area, this is our area that we think we have a little bit of resistance. All right. See what it wants to do up here. They could not protecting a level, not that many contracts traded. It was a program for him. Somebody had you don't protect the level. You can protect the level. Nah, you don't protect the level that big of a size. And he's showing it. No, you could protect the level by not showing it, but this guy was showing it. So, all right, coming up here to the 52 area. Again, if anybody has any questions, please feel free to ask. You can use the chat box area. Stocks are not the only markets to have rallied for much of last year. In fact, the real estate sector has seen some of the fastest house price growth in more than a decade, and there aren't many communities where prices have fallen since the pandemic. Despite rising costs and mortgage rates, homes are still getting snatched off the market at a record pace per a new Redfin report. About 59% of the homes that went under contract have had an accepted offer within 2 weeks of hitting the market, while more than 40% of the homes sold above the original asking price. U.S. home prices soared 11% in January, their biggest annual increase in 15 years, according to the S&P CoreLogic Case-Shiller National Index. The data also remain constant, with the view that COVID has encouraged potential buyers to move from the urban apartments to suburban homes, declared some manager. Roughly 1/4 of American workers are now doing their jobs from home, along with their children who are going to school online. Flashback to 2007. Not really. Many argue that this time around, buyers have higher credit ratings and are putting down more cash up front. Economists also forecast sales to rise again this year, while there are fewer systemic risks and the market is actually critically undersupplied. New construction hasn't kept up with household demand, and buyers are completely competing fiercely for a limited number of homes. While financial firms are still packaging mortgages as securities, the vast majority of those today have government backing. No more of those MBSs that are free, that have no protection. Then they were definitely in a different world that we live in now. Yes, wood has. Yes, that's true. Wood has skyrocketed. That's very true. My friend is a roofer, and his costs have gone up huge because demand is big, and also supply is, because of COVID, is, they don't have enough supply, and we're getting a nice rotation here off of our 52 area. Nice little quick dip down there to 50. That was a nice little trade there for you. No risk. If you had the 52 straight up. So nice little quick little trade there. That was the case where somebody wanted to sell a whole bunch, and that's how he sells it. That's where you get that quick flop down to 50. Maybe he wanted to sell 1,000, 2,000, and it just fills everything. All those bids that got filled all the way down to 50. And that's how you get a market order with 1,000 lot in there. That's the way it happens. All right, so nice little opportunity there for us against the 52 area. Now we continue to rally. Coming up here to the next level we have up here is 58. Let's see what it wants to do up here. Oh, that's true there, Chad. I definitely, wood has definitely gone crazy. And Don just told us that the lumber has gone up 180% from this time last year. So yeah, that is definitely the case. It's been definitely kind of crazy up there with that, with all this. Again, because of COVID, not many people have gone out. The supplies is just not there. At some point, I think the supply will catch up, but not for a time being. So we'll see what happens. All right, market continues to uptick here. We're looking at the 58 areas, our next level of resistance. Market is very, very strong for obvious reasons we talked about. And we got to just pick our spots and be patient with it. Well, I don't know if anybody. Well, I did have to. I think I did have to. I did have to mute myself for a second. I had to go take care of something. I don't know about the echo part. Again, we're coming up here. Got up to 57, and gonna test that. We have 58. Again, whatever you do, just keep your stop in. We are getting inverse trades. Is that actually happening? I don't know. Yeah, we're gonna come up here to the 58 area. Again, whatever you do, just keep your stop in. Testing this 58 area. Amazing rally, right? Just keeps going up. No reason to fight it. We're just scalping it. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, we get out. We're not into like squeezing anything here. You got to remember in these rallies, very light volume, so it doesn't take much for this market to, go up or go down. It's just the way it is. I mean, basically, it's going up, but on light volume. That's another reason that the VIX keeps going down, and that's also why you have to make sure you keep your stop in there. Okay, almost. Somebody is definitely getting a little nervous up here. Somebody getting a little nervous up here. Well, kind of down tick there to 6.5. Again, if you're scaling in, maybe you're scaling out as well. As you can see, sometimes you just have to have your orders in the market because you just never know when it's going to make these little pops, quick pops back and forth. And that's also for getting out of your trades in addition to getting into your trades. Well, it's taking its time there, Don. What can I tell you? These things are got to use that analogy. I like that. That's funny. We're working this 58 area here. I know it's kind of, this is what happens with these rally markets. They get up here and they test an area. And we're lucky we're not getting run over by our levels, so they're testing the area and giving us a chance to work it. You're given, obviously, if you tuck the top end of the range here, you're getting a little bit of a profit. You got your 2 points on your top end, and now you're just working the rest of it. If you're coming slowly rotating down, but at least it's giving us a chance here to work our levels, so that's a good thing. They're not running away from us. Hopefully you are trading, right? That's all we could be doing here. We're just looking for opportunities to trade, and the 58 level, even the 52, that was also a nice little, well, that one happened really fast there. You didn't have to think about that one. Just kind of gave it to you. And now these are just kind of, these are the 52 and the 58 here. Well, we're working these levels now. And, it's giving you a chance to decide whether you want to take some profits, peel some off. If you're trading one lots, and you got to make a decision. But that's what happens with these rally markets. They're not easy to trade. We've always talked about that, and they test your patience. And but and then you got to keep your stop in there, because you never know, especially at these all-time highs. You never know when they're going to run through or not. Yeah, just chopping up here. Again, if it's been up, down, we've been down there for a little bit. It's been 10, 15 minutes since we've had our trade on. So you have to make a decision how long you want to keep it on, where your stop's going to be, stuff like that. All right, again, just got to be a little bit patient to wait for our next opportunity. Teased us down there, did not give us our 56 straight up, but did go down there and trade 56 and a half. I suggested maybe you could think about getting out of some down there, especially with the top end, depending on, how you're trading. All right, again, so if we're kind of just trading up here, next level of resistance above is 64. Yeah, we talked about getting out of some of your trades down there when it got down to the 6.5, 6.25 area. Like I said, it's these rally markets that are just slow. Sometimes you're not going to get your 2 points. You got to take what the market gives you. And it just gave us what it wanted to give us. So that's all I can say. And if not, you just keep your stop in there and we'll look for our next opportunity. All right, strength of this market continues to uptick here. We're looking at the 64 area now. Again, we are in these rally markets that are very tough to trade. We get no volatility, no volume, but you just got to keep it giving us, giving us a chance to trade around our levels. That's what it has done. So in that sense, it's we're doing okay. And then now we're just continuing to just have this to stay strong with no volume. That's the other problem. There's hardly any volume up here. But such is the way of these rally markets, right? So we try to explain the risk, and hopefully you can trade around it. All right, they continue to push up here. Looking at the 64 area. Having to be very patient here, trying to can't make things happen. The market has to kind of create things for us. And it has. It's just a slow, steady rally. Hard to buy it anywhere. Tend to agree with you there, Don. All right, we're testing the 64 area here. Yeah, he is not a happy camper there, Mark. No, it's just a one-way trade. You know, this is what happens. This is the fallout from Friday. This is a continuation rally from Friday. You probably would have seen this on Friday. You had the weekend. They had the weekend to, absorb it, and now they're all coming in here. Oh my God, we had such a great unemployment number. Things are turning around. Oh, we don't want to miss this rally, and so you just keep continuing pushing it up here. But again, just keep your stop in there. Work in the 64 area here. That's all we can do. We don't like rally markets. They are just not our favorites for many reasons. And, as long as we understand why, and I try to explain to you why, it is what it is. Well, we're kind of hanging up here against our 64. I've said this many a time today. Just getting boring. Above the 64, we've got 69 and then 75. 69 and then 75 up here. Like I said, not that it matters, but again, it is what it is. Trying to see if we, look at they just suck out all the volatility. Look at that last 5-minute bar. It's just like slow. Trying to give us something here. It's trying. Oh, what do you know? Look at it. At least that worked out good for us. Again, patience was important here, right? Just take what it gives you. Don't fight it. And that time we didn't take any heat on that whatsoever. And finally got a nice little rotation. So that was, I guess, worth waiting. You just had to deal with that one 5-minute bar that didn't do anything. Just saw it do nothing, but got us down here. And it's all we can do with these rally markets. We just take what they give us, if they give us anything. And just keep your stop in. And that's all we can do. Hasn't been that bad. It's just been very slow. All right, so nice little trade there against our 64 area. And finally getting a little bit of rotation around it. All right, so next level we have up here is 69 and then 75. Support right now would be back around the 52 area. If they're going to decide to take some profits. All right. We did not have well, we used our levels pretty easily. That's for sure. Hopefully you were able to take advantage of some of them. It was kind of a tough little day there with this rally markets, but these rally markets are very tough to trade. But, again, you keep your stop in there like we suggested, and we keep telling you. And I think we did okay with most of our levels that we've had. It's just a matter of being patient. We did have to work around a couple numbers. We saw some of the price action that was in there with some big orders that was being traded. And now we just seem to be, just kind of hanging up here. 52 right now would be a good support area. I don't know if we're going to get down there, but we can adjust that accordingly. All right, seems it's trying to turn over here a little bit. Support to be again back around the 52 area. A nice rotation there off of the top level resistance there at 64. And that time he took no heat on that trade. All right, we're going to be very, very slow, I think, most of the time, these rally markets, unless something happens. But as long as we understand that, be patient. 69, next level above it at 75. Right now, 52-ish area, but that we could, if we don't get down there relatively soon, we'll probably be looking at the 56 area as the next good support area. Yeah, maybe do both. I don't know, depending on how aggressive you want to be. And these days, it's very, very tough little trade. So, but again, I think we did okay with our levels. We just had to be extremely patient, and talked about getting out of some a little bit sooner than maybe you wanted to. But so was that was just the case as far as the trade was concerned, only because the market was only giving us so much. Soon. If anybody has any questions, good time to ask. How we do things, what we do, we scalp in the market here, trying to take advantage of ebbs and flows, looking at using our levels. Not so many ebbs and flows, to be honest with you. It's just one-way trade, but our levels worked somewhat nicely here. And hopefully you were able to take advantage of a couple of our levels there. Patience obviously was important. The trade is very difficult on its way up with the VIX trading at a 17 handle and probably going to get lower. This continues for sure. So, you're just going to have to take what the market gives us. And sometimes it's a lot. Sometimes, we're lucky we got so much of a rally today. Usually these rallies, they're not there. I mean, they just even go slower. Oh, well, we got above 64, we got 69, and then 75. 69 and then 75. There they are written in the chat box area for you, in case some of you have missed it. Back up here in the highs again. Next level of resistance we have is up at the 69 area. We're just trading, well, welcome. We are trading mini S&Ps, the futures. We're trying to scalp the market with the levels that we've given out before the morning, when the morning started. If we can repeat the levels in the chat box area, you'll be able to see them. There they are. We use those levels as a guide for our day. We had a nice little rally market with our resistance levels. If you've been using them, you were able to scalp 2 points on most of them, maybe a little bit less depending on the price action on one other one. So we've been kind of lucky considering the type of trade the market is giving us today, which is very, very. These rally markets are very difficult to trade because they get a lot less volatility. But we're just trading the futures contract and trying to take advantage of ebbs and flows of the market, basically scalping the market against our levels and also price action opportunities once the market paints some bars. So that's what we do here on an everyday basis. We're here on the, well, we used to be on the Florida Exchange, but now we are doing it remotely from my basement. But we used to have, we used to do we had our booth there on the floor, but now, again, like I said, we do it here from my coziness of my basement because I don't have to deal with Chicago weather sometimes when I get out there, and it can get cold, but also the traffic is brutal. But anyway, that's another story. But that's what we do here on an everyday basis. We put together a methodology that allows us to take advantage of these ebbs and flows. And we also, whether we give out the levels or the opportunities that we have trading, we put together an education course that helps with some of our traders who are looking for a little extra help. And so that's what we're doing here every day. Welcome. Obviously, we start here when the market opens up, and we focus more on the morning hours to give us good ebbs and flows. Obviously, you can see here because of the circumstances of the Israeli markets, and also the fact that it's getting here towards a late morning, they suck out some of the volatility that's in the market, and some of the opportunities become less and less as the day goes on, especially with these rally markets, because they seem to, as it is, there's low volume, and then you throw in the the lack of volatility, and it becomes really tough to trade, especially as the day goes on. So we focus again more on the morning hours to give us a good bang for our money, and hopefully you can make a little bit most of your cash during the day. And it becomes really difficult to trade, especially unless there's some extenuating news that comes out or circumstances. But for the most part, the day trade, the morning trade is where it's going to be at. So we kind of focus on that more than anything else. You're fine, Chad. You don't have to be any faster. You can text it to me. You got my telephone number. In case that's a little faster for you. But the blue band's rotating back up here. You can see how it's coming up here to the 56 area, and you can double it up with some support. But again, it doesn't seem like if we start reaching, if it starts getting up to the level where we're trading, then it becomes a little tougher trade. You want a rotation down or up versus it catching up and we go sideways. Once we start going sideways, then the trade becomes very difficult to trade. Oh yeah, it is definitely going sideways for sure. We could be up here. So really the next good level of support that we have, if you're just looking for some support areas below, would be at 52 and then at 46. And then obviously our pivot there at 38. Well, that's asking a lot of this market right now. I mean, they have really sucked out the volatility too. Only 500,000. That's not too bad for how slow it's been. But we can get 500,000 in the first half hour, and this includes the overnight trade too. So very, very slow. Yeah, well, it's not surprising. It is what it is. This is what we expected. So unfortunately, it's just kind of hanging here. All right. Well, at least the 69 level here worked very nicely as well. Came right up to it. Again, one of those that did not take any heat. And a nice rotation there back to our 67 area. So we've been kind of lucky in that sense that we've been actually finding these levels that the market is bouncing off of and giving us a chance to make a little bit of money in the Israeli markets. We haven't really had a good chance to buy them anywhere. But as you can see here, the opportunity has been actually to against our levels that we talked about, the levels that we've given out early on in the morning. And we've kind of used those the rest of the way. Kind of amazing, and it keeps heading in one direction, but it is what it is. So we have the 75 is the next level of resistance on the upside. And then if we go continue, we're going to have 80 and then 89. 80 and then 89 if we continue to go through all the 4,000s all in one day. Who knows? But it is what it is. What can we do? And again, hopefully you're able to take advantage of our level here at the 69 area. Again, a little resistance up there. And we're able to make a nice rotation off of that level. It's giving us few opportunities today. If you were actually, it's giving us a lot of opportunities today. It's just a matter of being patient and waiting for them and taking advantage of them when they rotate over. Hopefully, you've been trading with us and taking advantage of the levels that we given out early on this morning. We do this on an everyday basis, actually. We are trading every day here on the S&Ps, and hopefully you've been trading with us. And any of this stuff interests you, any of the levels that we give out, anything I say is kind of is taught. I'm not making these things up. We show you how to find these levels. We show you how to trade them, how to get into them, how to scale into them, how to scale out of them. Everybody's got different risks, tolerances, so different ways of getting in, different ways of getting out. And that's why we suggest ideas and concepts to trade, and it's up to you as an individual trader to take advantage of those opportunities when they present themselves. All right, so not too bad considering the type of market, type of trade we're getting today. This is not an easy trade by any means. This one-way rotation to the upside is a very tough trade. We've been very lucky in the sense that we've found our levels that have worked very nicely for us today to give us a chance to scalp the market. And we're scalping the market on the sales side, obviously, today, simply because that's all the market is giving us. Our buying opportunities have never been triggered, never really been triggered. It's been we need reasons to trade. And if we don't find those reasons, then it's difficult for us to legitimize the entry into a trade, even if it's the long side today because you think the market's going up, because we don't believe that that is a reason to trade. Some might, but if you're doing this on an everyday basis, we need reasons to trade and reasons to get along, not just to say that you think the market's going up and we should buy it, because that is not a good reason. All right, so again, if any of this stuff interests you, anything I've been saying or trading, we teach, and the methodology that we have. The objective of the course here is to be able to let you find these levels on your own and to trade them independently of myself, and to know how to get into them, to acknowledge your risk, and to trade around the risk tolerance of each individual, because everybody's different. Everybody trades differently. Not everybody trades the same. All right. All right, as we come here to the end of the morning session, we've had a few good opportunities based on the levels, just on the levels that we gave out. Hopefully you were able to take advantage of them. If you have any questions, now's the time to ask. Thanks. That's correct there, Kurt H. We're looking for 2-point targets. When the market allows us those, sometimes we obviously have to look for a little bit more depending on volatility, but with the volatility the way it's going today, 2 points and 2 or 3 points is a good target for the trade that we have going on at this moment. Obviously, things change, volatility changes, and we might have to increase those targets a little bit as well as the stops, but that's not happening today, obviously. So, but yes, 2-point targets, so it's relatively, we keep ourselves out of trouble for the most part, and looking for opportunities here to scalp these markets against these levels, and also support levels when we can find them. Right now, the support level would be around the 62 area. Well, again, if we're setting our profit targets at 2 points, our stops would be about the same, 2 to 3 point stops. Again, everybody's a little bit different in how they manage their stops, but pretty much have to stay consistent with your profit targets to be able to be successful. So sometimes, though, we have to adjust to market conditions. Like I suggested earlier, the market was not giving us the profit targets we were looking for just because of the way it was trading. So I suggested get out for a little less than that. Sometimes you have to make that determination based on the price action. So hopefully that helps. But yeah, so the stops would be about the same also, considering, but sometimes we can make adjustments to that as well. Again, only if the markets are slow. When the markets are moving around, that's not really an issue. Those your stops get triggered, and your profit targets get triggered. Your opportunities are. We have plenty of opportunities, but we actually, considering the market today, we've had a good number of opportunities, so we can't complain. Yeah, I think our next class is going to be for on Thursday, Chad.
Hey, quick shout out and welcome to some of the new people coming in today. Hey, Vikram P, welcome. Hey, Vikram, I think you were in before. Just let me know back in chat. Hey, Shirley, let me know how you made out with that friends and family offer that we sent you. Kurt H, we sent it to you also. I can send it to you again. Let me send it out to you now. Shirley, I'll send it out to you. Just let me know back that you got it. Hey, Chad, did you get a response from Saul about the class? All right, Shirley, that's out to you. Vikram, I'll send it to you. It's an opportunity to be part of Saul's friends and family. Kurt, I'll send it to you. Hey, Carlos, how are you? I'm sorry, Carlo. Carlo, I'll send it to you. Hey, Hilmar, how are you today? How are the planes flying today? Or actually, how's your plane flying today? Alec, it's coming out to you. Welcome aboard. Let us know what you're trading, Alec. Carlo, it's coming out to you now. Had a pretty full morning this morning. A lot of activity. Hey, Anupam, how are you? Hey, HD, thanks for that. I did find the free version of that. And I think I sent HD out to you, the friends and family thing, right? Because I know you were scheduled for that coming up at some point here. Yeah, that's super. Oh, no worries. Chad, appreciate it. All right, I'm gonna be popping off. I'll be in the background. Take care of what you need to take care of. I appreciate you being here. If you become part of our family, then you can have a trader consultation, and we can certainly set that up.
Hello there, Alec. We are trading many S&Ps here. We focus more on the morning hours as soon as the market opens, and then it gives us better opportunities for us to take advantage of the ebbs and flows of the market. We're coming towards the end of our morning session here, where the market has definitely slowed down a lot. Plus, the volatility has been taken out of the market. So we trade. We had a lot of trades this morning that we were able to take advantage of as the market did give us an opportunity this morning. Again, we start here at 8:30 Chicago time. That's when the market opens, and we focus more on the morning hours for us to give us good opportunities for us to make our money. As the day goes on, the afternoon goes on, the trade gets less and less active, and the volatility gets sucked out of the market, so our opportunity to trading is not as great as it is in the morning hours. So we focus more on the morning hours for us to give us opportunities to trade and to make a little bit of money. And as the afternoon goes on, the trade gets not as it doesn't trade as well as it does in the morning, especially the way the market's trading right now with this rally. The rally markets are very, very slow and more one-sided and very difficult to trade. So we had a lot of trades this morning, if you were with us. And if you join us tomorrow morning, also, I mean, we're here all day, but the trade is not. So there's no reason for us to keep talking when there's not much trade going on, as we're focused more on the trading aspect of the game here than just talking. So as the trade gets less and less active, we get also less and less active as well. And so if you want to rejoin us in the morning to get us to hear a little bit more opportunities or whatever the day is going to bring tomorrow, then obviously you're more welcome. I don't think much is going to happen the rest of the day, but you never know. We do have a website. When Brad comes on, pitintelligence.com is our website. That's the main website that we have, and there's other various different avenues of getting there. But pitintelligence.com is our website. That'd be correct there, Alec. Yeah, if you're in the West Coast and trading, you definitely have to wake up a little earlier. The good thing is that you have the whole day to do whatever you want because we focus more on the morning hours, so that'll give you a good chance to do whatever you need to do after. Yes, that would be correct.
Hey, Alec, let me know if you're back. I just stopped back, so I saw your question. Alec, absolutely. I can give you a brief description of what the opportunity is based on the service and how it relates to what you're trying to do, and also the timing. You know, you could get a working mic depending on, based on what's happening out there. You know, it's interesting. The mic I'm using is a relatively old mic, and I was researching some of the new mics, but I changed the setting here to mono. So I think that that's probably good enough at the moment. So yeah, any decent mic and headset's a good thing. And they're readily available out there for gamers and people that are on Zoom. And Skype used to be a big thing. Now it's Microsoft Teams. It's a big thing. But anyway, so I digress. Carlo, are you okay? Just let me know back in chat. Kurt H, just let me know back in chat. Shirley, let me know if you're okay. Everything is set up for the friends and family. Alex, so you're starting out in trading. Looks like you're using TD Ameritrade. You know, the focus here is the S&P 500 E-mini. Doing 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 trades during a good trading morning. Our morning starts here at 9:30 Eastern time. Right now it's 12:27 p.m. Eastern time. So how that equates to your time zone, you're going to have to let me know. So your Pacific Daylight Time, so that would be like Mark. Hey, Mark L, what, when do you rise to start to trade in the morning? You're still there. Based on this service. Mark L is also out in your region. So Mark rises at 6 a.m. his time to prepare for his trading day. So what time is that our time? Is that, well, it's daylight savings time, it's a little screwy. So is that 9 a.m. Eastern time? Okay, great. So Mark was also out in California, rises at 6 a.m., which is 9 a.m. Eastern time. We kick off here based on this service around 9:15 Eastern time. So that would be 6:15 your time. One of the nice things I think about this business from a West Coast perspective is that if you get good at this, and listen, that's a big if. You know, the opportunity to learn how to trade, be able to extract profits out of the marketplace and do it on a consistently profitable basis is not an easy thing to do. I'm not saying we can't teach it to you, but what I'm saying is that it really takes time, effort, focus, and also the right personality to be able to turn your trading into a business. But let's say you did that and we helped you with that. You could get up at 6:15 and be done in an hour and a half, 2 hours, and then either go back to bed, which I've heard people do, or you could just go on with the rest of your day and have the freedom of having banked your money and derive your living from trading. Now, Mark L is saying he's usually done by his time at 8 a.m. So I think that should be a big help to you as far as now. Mark is part of Saul's friends and family. He's also part of Saul's graduating class in his, well, I should say he's still in Saul's intensive. So Saul has 3 levels of service. People come in as a guest, they transition to friends and family, and then they move on to, if they choose, to Saul's intensive, where he takes you under his wing and he teaches you the art of trading the S&P 500 E-mini in private session. The monthly, or the friends and family, give you the opportunity to be part of Saul's world on a monthly basis and receive his levels, his commentary during the morning session. So, Alec, let me know if that helps you. Carla, let me know if that helps you. Kurt, same. I should say Kurt H versus Kurt G, Kurt H, and Shirley M. So I sent out an opportunity for you, Alex. I did it for Carlo. Alec, let's say you sign up for Saul's friends and family, you can, we can talk privately about where you are in your trading, where you'd like to be. If you'd like to find out more about Saul's intensive, let us know once you become part of Saul's friends and family. And then we go from there. So now it gets quiet coming into the afternoon.